Hey, Scruffy. He's sitting here next to the door the whole time. Couldn't see you. Usually you're on the gray mat. Yeah. Okay, so I got, let's see, I think it's the real chicken and tuna and kibble. And yeah, last night was a little different. So Scruffy jumped up on the table again. I think that's his new way of telling me he wants more food. So I got him more kibble. Also gave him a treat last night. But then I needed to refill my kibble container, and I think that probably also confused things. So I think he kept thinking I was going to keep feeding him. Whoops. Yeah. Jumpy. Okay. So, getting the glove on. Yeah, running back, huh? Okay, I'm gonna get up. Okay, ready? Oh, we'll start on that side, huh? Usually starts on the other side. So I see there's a piece of blue stuck to him. It's from the blue moving blanket. Last night, late last night, I saw him sleeping in the box on the table with the blue moving blanket. Or at least I think he was sleeping, I don't know. It was pretty late, and I looked out the window and I was cleaning up for the night, and I was able to see the reflection of his eyes in the blue box, so he was actually awake. So I might have woken him up when I was turning on the lights to finish up in the kitchen. So I was a little concerned. Yeah, I was giving him all the wrong signals last night after when I got the kibble, or the refill of the kibble container. I think the communication I think went a little awry, and I think he thought I might keep feeding him, and so I was a little worried when he saw me in the kitchen late last night. He might also give it another cross signal and think I was going to feed him in the middle of the night, which I didn't really plan on doing, and unless he was going to start meowing incessantly, I was probably not going to feed him, since he already got extra food from me. So I think I have a tiny bit of footage, which I'll show in a little bit. But yeah, it was me right after going back in after refilling the kibble container and ending for the night. But today, Scruffy seemed pretty back to normal. Well, almost. I saw him this morning, kind of late morning, on the table, and he was awake, and he saw me, and he, I didn't get any footage of that, but he immediately jumped down off the table. Well, not immediately, so I looked at him, he looked at me, I went on to what I was doing. I got a really late jump today for various reasons, and needed to get moving on stuff, and I noticed in a little bit he had jumped off the table, and he actually was on the gray mat, and so I think maybe there was another cross signal that maybe when I look at him on the table, he thinks maybe if he jumps down or maybe if he looks directly at me and jumps down, maybe I'm going to feed him or come out or something. So he ended up, yeah, staying off the table the rest of the day, I think. But he ended up sleeping elsewhere. So he slept on the gray mat and he slept on the deck, and so he went on to do his normal, more or less normal routine, just not on the table tonight or today. So the weather did heat up today. Oh, it's climbing. Fortunately, it actually did not get as hot as they originally predicted. It was kind of right on that borderline of uncomfortably warm. Just grabbing again. So it wasn't miserable. Still too hot for this time of season, in my opinion. But yeah, today was manageable. I did turn on the fan in my room, and I ditched heavy clothing. But it didn't get as hot as it was predicted to get, so it was a win, I guess. So I had, got up late. I had kind of trouble sleeping, and then finally, kind of got to sleep in a little bit, or tried to sleep in a little bit. Kept waking up, but I managed to get back to sleep and sleep in a little bit. But I noticed my legs were kind of sore. I think the bicycle trip yesterday taxed a bunch of muscles I haven't used in a while. Although I did my bicycle trip a few days before that and didn't really feel the same fatigue in my legs. So it's kind of interesting because it was almost the same bike ride. I mean, it actually really was kind of the same bike ride. So I'm not sure why that first time I didn't feel anything, but the second time I felt more. Seems like the first time would have been the worst one. Could be that I came off two days of running. They weren't very good runs, which is why I did 2 days in a row, but maybe just 2 days of running plus biking, that was my limit there. So maybe I was feeling the soreness from the combination of the whole thing. I don't know, soreness, maybe stiffness is a better word. Yeah, so fortunately I'm not really feeling any, or noticing any pain from my injury in my leg or hip. So I think, yesterday's ride was probably a success. I didn't re-injure myself. I'm still going to take it a little easy. I'm a little worried about that popping sensation I had. I think maybe I'm going to have to heal more, so I won't have that or encounter that maybe. Or maybe I'm going to have to do more stretches beforehand before I go on a ride. But I think, I'm going to try healing a little more. Because I remember before I got injured, I noticed that same problem, and when my leg popped or whatever, start cracking your knuckles, popping your knuckles or whatever it is, then the pain went away. But then when I finally got the full injury, I thought maybe if I could just pop my leg or whatever, the pain would go away, but I couldn't pop my leg anymore. So I guess that might have been a sign that, yeah, something was wrong. So the whole popping my leg thing is probably a sign that something's not quite right. So I think I may still need to heal a little longer, or at least take it easier. Yeah. So I won't be doing my every other day bike rides yet. The irony was, I started doing the bike rides because I kept injuring myself with the running. So I needed to take it easy on the running. So I thought the bicycle rides are supposed to be easier. And I think it's actually making me run more because I can't go biking now. Okay, I think Scruffy's ready for food, huh? Oh, one last rub, huh? Okay, let's get your food. Okay, coming down. Okay, I'm done. So let's see. Let's recap with some of the footage. I guess to start with last night. So I mentioned I needed to refill my kibble container, and I keep the big giant bags of kibble out here under the big table in a storage container. So I have to bring everything out and pull out the big giant container because they're huge bags of kibble, like 60 pounds or something like that. And anyway, so Scruffy was eating while I was doing that, and I think he could smell it. And so I think while he was eating, he actually started looking at me and sensed more food, and he stopped eating. I think hoping maybe I'd give him more food from the kibble bag. So I was emptying refilling my containers. I spilled a little bit on the table. I picked it up, and then I decided to put a little bit of the kibble inside the carrier. That little green carrier back there, and I know he hates the carrier, but he'll sometimes duck his head in there and snipe the food if it's in there. A long time ago, I was trying to get him acclimated to the carrier, so I was putting food and water in there, but he never got used to it, so I just kind of gave up on the whole idea. So anyway, when I went back in for the night, he was kind of so he was sticking around. I think he kept hoping I'd give him more kibble. I actually gave him a little more kibble after that first scoop. So I, from the kibble bag, after I put it away, I kept another handful. I put it in his bowl, let him eat the second round. So he got a pretty good helping of kibble last night. Went in, and then quickly he jumped on the table, and I think he sensed the kibble I spilled, and so I think he was looking for it. And so I got a little bit of footage of that. And he was sniffing on the white comforter, because that's where I spilled it. but he didn't find the kibble in the carrier yet. I turned on the camera and was hoping to catch him, finding it in the carrier. And I decided to turn on the lights, so the camera footage might be a little better because this camera isn't so good with darkness. So anyway, the moment I turned on the light, he continued on what he was doing for a moment, but then he decided to jump off the table and then come to the door or sit on the gray mat. And this is where I think I may have confused him or crossed my signals, because maybe he associates turning on the light with me coming out and feeding him. So I didn't really want him to jump off the table. I think at first I wasn't sure if it was the lights or maybe just me looking at him or just being there. So anyway, I decided to go away, turn off the lights, and then let Scruffy go on with his night. And then shortly after, I saw him back on the table, and once again he was sniffing around. And I was hoping once again to get footage of him going into the carrier, finding the food. I think I turned on the light again, and then once again he jumped off, and then I think, at this point, I figured, this is where I really kind of connected the dots, and maybe I crossed my signals, and he associated the lights with me feeding him or something. So once again, he jumped off the table, and then I decided, and I think he came around, and I decided, okay, I'm going to stop for the evening, just turn off the lights, go away, and presume or hope he finds the kibble in the carrier. And by hope, I mean, he actually hope he finds it instead of some other animal, like a raccoon or another cat. Because I want him to find the food and not attract other critters that might attack him. So actually, now after I thought about that, I realized I probably shouldn't be putting food on the table, just because he sleeps there and may attract other unwanted animals. But I kind of have to use the table to pour the kibble. It's a huge bag. It's heavy. And it's not easy to pour. So anyway, today, let's see, I did come out after he, so I think, around lunchtime I saw he was awake, I think. Actually, no, I can't remember if he was awake, but he's on the mat, and so I decided to come out and bring out the water, since it was going to be a hot day. So he didn't meow or anything today, and he actually, I think he backed away. Brought out the water. I can't remember. But he wasn't as friendly as the other day. So I left the water and then went back in, and then he immediately drank the water. So, and then I saw him sleeping different parts of the deck, I think, the rest of the afternoon. So I think about an hour before dinner, he was out in the open on the deck. I didn't get any footage of that, but he looked really comfortable. So he was flat on his back with his legs up. Seemed very comfortable sleeping there. He was, I think, in the shade, so the sun had moved enough where he's getting some shade. But kind of a hot day. That cusp between very, very warm and hot. So it was a manly good day. Okay, I think Scruffy's about done. I'll probably move his balls. Let's see, there's some pate smears behind the balls, I think. So I put in a little extra kibble tonight. I'm wondering if he keeps jumping up on the table. If he keeps doing that, I wonder if I need to start feeding him more. Okay, move balls. And yeah, there's a piece of meow mix on the bottom. So I think it was a month or two ago. It's probably more like 2 months ago, where he seemed to be less friendly and less food motivated, and so I was actually contemplating the idea of feeding him less. So I think since then I haven't been putting as much extra kibble in his bowls frequently. So maybe it's starting to add up and he's becoming a little more food motivated. Or maybe the hotter weather is starting to increase his metabolism. They think with all the sleeping he does, his metabolism will be about the same. So I think I'm almost halfway through the kibble. I'm actually impressed. I have 2 huge bags, and I think both of them are getting close to halfway. So it's been a little over a year and a half. Okay, I think Scruffy's done. Let's go in the other direction tonight. Oops, it's coming back. I'm going to move pretty soon, and that usually gets them to run away. Yeah, done? Yeah, okay, I'm going to move. Okay. Okay, I'm going to get up. Okay, folks, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.